So let me just present myself a little bit. I joined the automation orchestration or IBM Workload Automation portfolio not so far, just 6-7 years ago. But I'm really younger considering the long path of IBM Workload Automation product. Today I prepared not so much slides because, as I also probably said, we would like to have an interactive meeting. But overall, I would like to present to you, but probably you already take a look about these topics in the past. But I would like to reinforce the automation, our automation market trend, then the opportunities that this market trend provide us, the SOAP market, that is the way to satisfy this new market trend. What I said about us, then our product capability, the automation app, that is the place where we have the entire ecosystem of third-party integration for our product, and the latest releases, where I prepared just 4 slides, one for the version 10.2.4 we released, and the next one, 10.2.5, and also 2 slides for the IBM the workload scheduler Fixpack 1 and Fixpack 2, that is the upcoming release. Then I will show you also the full roadmap and at the end the product life cycle. Based on our meeting ahead, we can decide to when I will show you the latest release of Workload Automation 10.2.4 to switch to Alessandro in order to show you also the feature, and then we can come back here as we prefer. I mean, you can also say to me what you would like to see, and of course, if you have a question, jump in, and we can try to answer your question. So basically, let's start with a quick look at what's shaping the automation market trend today. So we know that as the digital transformation accelerates, the complexity is rising, no? And considering hybrid environment and a fragmented tool, this creates silos and inefficiency. There is also a shift underway. I mean, automation can't really on IT anymore. So now there is a growing demand for a more democratized approach, where also business users and new, let me say, citizen developers can also contribute. So to meet these challenges, organizations need a unified platform that can orchestrate across systems, empower also not technical users, and leverage AI for smart decision. And as you know, AI and agentic automation now are redefining what's possible. And here, the service orchestration automation platform are the key to turning these challenges into opportunity. About AI, then, when I will show you our ecosystem, I would like to ask you a lot of questions, because you need to also guide us in better enhance our product based also on your feedback on AI, agentic AI, Gen AI capabilities. So probably you already know what is service orchestration automation platform, but just give you what really means, or an overview. This represents the evolution of the traditional workload automation. So while older tools focused on time-based scheduling, the SOAP platform enables also event-driven orchestration, real-time processing, and workflow integration across hybrid environment. Because you know that probably now more than 19% of our customers are using cloud and also multi-cloud. So the SOAP platform go behind it task automation, unified infrastructure, application, data pipeline, business process with a single orchestration layer. And this is essential for organizations that are in the, let's say, in the hyper automation world. So with this in mind, the next question is, okay, but who is leading this SOAP platform. As you can see here in this slide, our product, IBM Workload Automation, has been recognized as leader in 2024 Gartner Magic Quadrant. And now we are also renewing for the 2025. We just had an interview 1 month ago, and probably at the end of this year, we will have the new Magic Quadrant from Gartner. I'm pretty sure that we are there or much on the right. And also, we have been named a value leader in the 2023 HEMA Radar report. While the difference between the two is that while the first one is more for the product capability, the second one emphasizes the ROI, cost effectiveness, and innovation. So this recognition validates, of course, our leadership in both technical excellence and also business impact. So now, in the next slide, we will see how our product delivers on these with the real-time triggers, intelligent workflow, process orchestration, and AI integration. So in the circle, we have the characteristics that you must have in order to be recognized in the Magic Quadrant of Gartner. And for each of these capabilities, we have multiple features. As we can see in workflow orchestration, we have features like auto recovery, dependency management, predictive scheduling, what-if analysis to maintain, of course, the SLA compliance. Under event-driven automation, we support both time and event-based triggers, critical path management, and so on. Also for analytics and AI, we offer to our customer dashboard and also AIDA, our newest AI data advisor, which also uses machine learning to detect anomalies and accelerate the issue resolution. In data pipeline management, we provide MFT, managed file transfer, and also big data orchestration. And then, as you will see also in the next slides, we will focus in this year also to improve our MFT capabilities, not only for internal file transfer, but also for B2B file transfer. Then in monitoring and visibility, we offer end-to-end flow views with the open telemetry integration and also dedicated orchestration monitor for real-time insights. And lastly, in the self-service automation, we enable also our business user with the web and mobile catalogs, Oakley, and other tools like ZChatOps to empower both developers and also business users. So this is the reason why we were recognized as leader for Gartner. So now that we covered the key features, let's look at the business value of our product provide to you. So these business value are based both on internal tests, but also on customer feedback. When I say customer feedback, these are really tests that we did with some customers. For example, we have one customer that orchestrate an end-to-end workflow where are involved multiple cloud services plus file transfer third-party tool like Axway, and they were able to save around 60% in the file transfer time. Also, since they use the multi-cloud services in this test that are from Azure and AWS, if I remember well, and they said me that they increased the productivity up to 30%. Other customers that now are using RPA tools, but of course the bots are orchestrated by our product, not their orchestration tool, because you can orchestrate something also using directly, for example, UiPath or also IBM RPA, but the power of their orchestration tool is not like ours. They can't orchestrate end-to-end workflow when multiple cloud are involved, or they don't have some capability that we offer like SLA or what-if analysis or something like that. But both RPA tools are better than us when, for example, they need to get information from the screen, no? And so in that case, this company were able to have the first 99 first-step success rate using our tool, orchestrating the bot powered in, if I remember well, UiPath tool here. And also the other percent that are based on other business scenarios that we created with our customer. I don't know if you are one of these, but of course, if you would like to help us also in finding this kind of benefit, we can work together in find this benefit. So now, based on this, let me show you our automation hub that enables our automation democratization. Here, we have more than 130 plugins as for now. I try to group them in 4 different pillars. So humans, where we have approval flow, and sometimes also some IDP. Then we have RPA, EDP, GenAI services that are here in this category. These are subcategory of this main category. Then we have cloud services, this one, and also services and APIs that that represent the enterprise business platform plus some data pipelines integration. So as you can see, we have a lot of integration for the main 3 clouds, AWS, Azure, Google, also of course on Oracle. Now we are also trying to understand if it makes sense add integration for the new clouds that are most used in the rest of the world, like Alibaba or Huawei. But before to add this third-party integration, we would like to ask our customer if for them are mandatory or not. As for now, for Europe and US, these are the 3 main cloud providers. Probably the storage services for Alibaba or Huawei could be one of the first third-party integration for the new cloud, also to expand our cloud services world, I mean. We also offer integration for Snowflake, that is one of the most used tool. Or now the upcoming release are Power BI, and probably tomorrow or the day after tomorrow we will release the first AI and AI agent third-party tool integration. And these are Amazon Bedrock that allow you to create with that platform AI agents. While if you have, for example, Amazon Bedrock agent integration, you can directly use the agent created through Amazon Bedrock. And also Amazon Textract, that is a sort of OCR recognition. And we would like to start with these 2 because some customers asked us to start with the integration with the GenAI, AI, and AI agent third-party services. We have also integration for IBM Watson X and GCP Vertex AI, and of course OpenAI. Now, before to move forward, I would like to ask you if you are interested or not in having AI agent capability inside our product or leveraging third-party tool. What do you think? I mean, we know that now this is a new trend, but really our customers are interested in using this probabilistic, let me say, probabilistic feature instead of our deterministic feature that we provide with our product. Up to you. What do you think about it? Are you thinking about adding AI agents powered by third-party tool or not? What do you think about AI, GenAI for this year, next year, in the 2 years from now?
It's nice from YBS. We're not really focused on open AI right now. We're really focused on the base product itself, AWS, and the stability of the AWS, and keeping up with the upgrades of AWS. OpenAI, to me, it might be good for us, it might not be good for us, but it's not right now. It's not on our agenda.
Okay, and something about the agent. I think that also IBM, the new IBM Watson X product, another name that now I forgot, allow you to create AI agent, and of course you can leverage that the AI agent created inside IBM Watson X with this integration in our product. When we say about the AI agent, means that you don't need to create an end-to-end workflow. For example, if you in the HR world, no. Usually, what's happened? You receive the CV from one candidate, no. There is a man that see the CV, probably sometimes add information into the CRM or I don't know where. Then these information are moved in another place. You can orchestrate with our product this flow from the beginning to the end. The AI agent are able to take the information from, for example, a PDF, understand if the information that the candidate provides fits in your based on your needs. I mean, you said I need people that is skilled here, and know this, and this. No, so using this agent, you can automatically have the output. For example, starting from the PDF sent to the people, without creating any kind of workflow, or without do nothing. You can just add this agent into your workflow, and you have the output. This is this is an example for HR, but you can extend this example in the entire world. No, this probably will be the future. I don't know, because it's probabilistic. The agent could be wrong, and for this reason, it's important to have in the end-to-end workflow also human in the loop capabilities, where the human must do something when we leverage AI agent. So this is an example. I don't know if you ever talk about in your company the needs of having this kind of, no, not right now. Probably
it's good to know that it's there, but I guess if we ask the people online as well, if any of their organizations are looking at this.
Well,
No? Okay.
Speaking at an enterprise architecture level, which is where it tends to work, you've got to have a presence in this. If you don't, you're going to get that behind.
Yes.
That's it. It's coming up in almost daily conversations with customers, not necessarily around focusing around this product, but it's everyone's got to have, and I hate to say it, but an AI agenda. And if you don't have anything in there, you're going to get left behind. So it's something that the probabilistic versus deterministic has been around for a long time. And if you get one AI to talk to another AI, you will eventually back to that, find out the fact that actually one of them will admit that it lied at some certain points. So you've got to be aware of that sort of thing as well. So you've got to have a source of the truth. So if you're focusing on the deterministic, which you've got to be 100% correct, then that's where we've got to be there. So with the Watson X stuff, you'll feel you can bound it.
Yeah.
You're not going to have so much sort of external input, shall we say, that might send you up a wrong path. But just speaking as the higher level, you've got to have a presence. You will get that behind. And you won't go apart.
Yeah, so the product is called Orchestrate. So what's next? Orchestrate. So we've got projects going on at the moment where people are using that agent and integrating it into AIOps. So taking events and integrating with some of our other tools like Instana as well from an APM point of view. And it doesn't have to be Instana, it could be other APM tools. And using the agent to ask questions, right? You know, what is the status of this particular server or whatever it may be, and using it from that point of view, and then making decisions based on that, either as a human. And ultimately, the idea is to actually do some automation around that as well. So potentially, you know, this agentic kind of like piece where actually the agent says, well, actually, I've recognized something, can use that potentially in more complex sort of like cases, rather than, you know, automations that are just present in a lot of the tools that you're probably all using now. So it's definitely coming, and we've got projects on the go at the moment.
So what's the next challenge we do once a year with an IBM? It's open to business partners and clients as well. Anyways, interested in participating. This year it is focused on lots of orchestrate to get access to the tool and build up whatever piece that you want to. Anybody's interested in it? Let me know. We send the link or sign up for it.
Okay.
Okay, great. We can go ahead. But if you want, I can show you some business scenarios where AI agents are involved and what are the benefits that they can bring in the end-to-end workflow. I have something. If you would like to see, then we can do it also.
Okay. I have a question, which is more general about the new plugins and things like that. So there's 130 plus now, but when you install a new version, so if you go to 10.2.4, for example, you don't get all 130 new job types installed as part of that. There is a core set that's installed, and then everything else is optional that you download from the Automation Hub. What would you class as the core job type? So we know executable, Unix, Windows, all those sorts of things, but there's some optional ones that in 10.2.4, for example, ServiceNow is optional. Mm-hmm. It's not downloaded, it's not installed as default.
Yes. It's not more built-in, yes. For other kind of plugins, you have to download from Automation Hub.
Yes. Do you not think that's a problem?
Okay.
I think now should be core rather than optional. So how do we get that list right in terms of what gets installed, and who makes that decision?
Okay.
Because we've seen organizations that have gone to 10.2.4 and then ServiceNow stop working because it's not there. So all the event triggers and all those sorts of things then stop working.
Oh, we can review what do you think that should be mandatory, let me say, in the first installation. Because when we decide at the beginning, we make a sort of interview to our customer in order to understand which are the most used plugin overall.
Yes.
But of course, you are our customer. If you need something specific, for example, SAP are out of the box, are inside the product, some SAP integration. No, because probably 19% of customers are using SAP integration. Not all the SAP plugin that we have now, but the majority of them. For example, now we are also releasing SAP BTP, and also we are releasing SAP data services for integration. These are not in the product built in, no? But if you think that SAP or Power BI or other probably cloud services should be inside, we can do it.
Yes. But also to make the optional ones easier to install, because it's not straightforward. You know, you download it from the Automation Hub, you then have to edit within the plugin subdirectory and things like that. There's no automated way of saying, right, I want Apache Airflow, and it just goes away and does it. So is that in the pipeline? So
plugin management.
Okay. You in the future you can also use an AI agent to say using. No, this is really, this is another example, guys. I'm not joking. You can also say using the Gen AI capabilities. I mean LLM. No, you can all talk on right. I would like to install and the Power BI plugin that is in the automation app. You can write that is automation app at this link in my server. No, of course you need to provide the credential, all the security that is around. No, so the password, everything. But you can set it. Then automatically it's generated an AI agent, and you can also start the AI agent, for example, with your self-service catalog. Just clicking a button, start the agent. The agent find what do you need and can download it inside. This is another example for business user. But anyway, overall we can also find a faster way to install the agent, the third-party tool into the product. If this is too complicated, for me, it's a good feedback. This.
Yeah,
So I think making things easier for administrators. If using an AI agent to do it, then that's great.
This could be also an example. Guys that are in Rome, can you take a note?
I started to take note because it's a good point. Because now, if I remember right, Ilaria, correct me. Now probably we have 100 of plugins. The problem is also the package size, because the zip increase a lot if we put every plugins in the images of the agent, for example. I think also this could be a problem. We have to manage in a different way. That is not automation hub. But like Ernesto suggested, this could be a good way to download automatically.
Yes. Because the number of plugins is only going to go up. You know, at the last user group, it was 110, 120.
Yeah.
Now it's 160. At the next one, who knows? Maybe 150.
Basically, if you want, I can spoiler. Then we can come back. But these are the new one that we are releasing in July 2025. This is tentative. I'm pushing a lot. I mean, I'm managing in my job. I'm managing specific programming for the integration. So for this reason, I know a lot of things about integration. These are the newest plugin we plan to have for July 2025. These three were asked from a lot of customers, specifically this one and this one, BTP, that is more the orchestrator of the BTP SAP product. These two are the new one for the, we say, AI integration. And this one is a really used integration from a lot of companies. I don't know if you use Power BI. Okay, because I receive a lot of requests for this integration, and then I will reach out to you, because I would like to create the one business share to push more in creation of in the developing of this plugin. And also, basically, we try to deliver from 4, 5, or at least 6 between new integrations and major enhancement, because sometimes we have major enhancement for also an older plugin, no? But sometimes this major enhancement is equal to a new plugin. So we split between major enhancement based on customer request and new plugins. We have a huge list. In my backlog, I have more than 300 plugins required from customer. Basically, how we decide to implement this integration. So basically, first are you? How much customer asking for that plugin? Second, how the business scenario required from our customer is clear, because when you create a plugin has a word inside, no? You can orchestrate 1, 2, 3 features, but you can't orchestrate with one integration all the features of the plugin. So as much specific or well explained is the scenario of our customer, as much for us is simple to create the integration for that plugin. So this is the second point we evaluate when we decide to have a new plugin. And the third point and fourth point is the market trend, some market trend, yeah, new trend like now the AI, consider that compared to our competitors like BMC, they don't, 2 months ago, they never have AI integration in their product. Now they are starting in adding a third-party tool. But we started more than 6 months ago with OpenAI, with IBM Watson X integration, GCP Vertex AI. So we are a step forward compared to our competitors in the third-party integration for AI. But the roadmap of these are 19% coming from you. This is pretty sure. How much of you needs one integration? This integration scaled up in the roadmap. Now, if you have questions, we can come back so we can continue. Okay. Where we are? Okay, here. So I think that I'm just taking a lot of time. Okay, this is let me say our roadmap teams for this 2025 and 2026. So we are focusing, of course, both in core engine and also in user experience. Also, we are focusing on expanding our automation hub and, of course, our workload EasyWS product. As regards the enhancing core capabilities, we are introducing nesting of job streams. We deliver something, but we are enhancing also it. Then we would like to add tagging that will simplify searchability, grouping, and dynamic management of workload definition. We are also introducing change management workflow, and also we have in plan, as I said before, the development of a new MFT file gateway. While on the user experience within our DWC, we are bringing full orchestration monitoring, offering an end-to-end visibility with the context-aware dashboards. Also, as you saw, a new drag-and-drop graphical designer. And with this new drag-and-drop graphical design, we covered, let me say, the only one big problem compared to our competitors, since they already had the drag and drop. Now we also have the drag and drop graphical design, and let me say it is better now. Then we are adding and we will improve OQL syntax and also visual enhancement like graphical monitoring that will also improve real-time operation, insight, and responsiveness. In the mainframe space, with the upcoming release, but also with the next one, we are focusing on supporting the WC new orchestration monitoring, graphical design, also the plan mirroring on the database. We would like to simplify cross-dependency management and continue the expansion of Z-centric end-to-end orchestration capability. About Automation Hub, we already covered a lot of topic there, no? So now, before to pass to Alessandro, who will show you our new feature with the live demo, I tried to recap in this slide, but I have another one slide, all the features that we released in the version 10.2.4. So basically, these features here are grouped in 3 different sections. The ones that refers to modeling enhancement, the one that referring to monitoring enhancement, and the list of customer-driven enhancement. Of course, we have others, but the space is we have not a lot of space here. Then in another slide, I tried to group this feature in 6 different wows, and Alessandro will show you this feature for each of these wows. Let me just show you how I tried to group the same feature that I just listed there into 6 different wows. For each of these 6 wow, we have also a value proposition of this feature. Plus, for each of these wow, we have also business value, functionality description, and also use cases. I will not show you all of these because we have more than 20 slides, but we will give you this presentation, and also you can read everything, take your time, and then if you have questions, you can come back to me, to Alessandro, and to the other. But before to move to Alessandro, let me just list what we added in this release. So basically, we added with workstation management. The workstation can now be defined and edited directly within the graphical designer and used as an asset through the graphical modeling process. Then with the run cycle trigger, run cycle groups can now be defined as trigger for job stream in the graphical designer. Then about resource management, resources can now be defined in the graphical designer, and resource dependencies can be easily established for job streams and individual job. And this simplifies resource allocation and dependency management. As regard monitoring improvement, we delivered an advanced filtering, so you can now do complex OQL filters in the orchestration monitor, and this enables more granular and targeted workload monitoring. About workflow inside, detailed job plugin information is now available in the orchestration monitor when interacting with third-party software. So in this way, you can enhance troubleshooting and analysis of this plugin. Then, as I said before, we added a feature for job stream nesting. This is really important feature. So now you can nest job streams within other job streams to create complex and sophisticated automated scenario. And this enables the orchestration of highly intricate and dependent workflows. As regards customer-driven enhancement, we delivered the operator instruction, so a view description and comments from the modeling process directly in the orchestration monitor for jobs and job string. In this way, we improved communication and operational efficiency. Job rerun, so now you can rerun jobs in cancelled pending status that were originally in the status due to a no operation condition, for example. And this provides greater control over job execution and recovery. As regards visual status indicators, now you have custom icons that have been developed to clearly identify jobs in no operation mode. Then we added super admin role to provide enhanced administrative control and management capabilities. Then what about CyberArk and password vault integration? So now you can integrate your preferred password vault, such as CyberArk, and designate agents as a proxies and use simple syntax in job definition to retrieve password securely. This is what we delivered. While
Can I ask a question?
yeah, sure.
What is the orchestration monitor? Is that a GUI? What is orchestration monitor? So operation instructions, view, modeling, comments in the orchestration.
Yeah.
What is the orchestration monitor?
Yeah. Now we will show you exactly what is it. Yes.
It's a branch
This is
monitoring chain.
So it's not DWC. It's not part of DWC. It's not a
Not
a
part of
sub-
the DWC.
It is part of DWC. It's like
Yeah.
a function within DWC. Okay.
Alessandro, can you show your presentation so we can also answer if there are questions about this?
Yes.
Yeah.
These are the features we planned for the next release. So the first one, with the first one, we will use Prime React in order to enhance look and feel. No, so the product user interface moved from Carbon to Prime React to, deliver modern, responsive, and more intuitive user experience. Then we will be able to manage reporting credential in an easy way. Deliver from the administrator panel, user will be able to configure reporting for each engine using a dedicated reporting tab, and the UI allows secure input of credential and provide immediate confirmation, making setup and updates faster and more intuitive for the administrator. Then we will enhance the OQL query experience. So this functionality will be improved to give user more control and cleaner experience. So manual query execution, the icon or enter key, replaces automatic runs while typing. So we will have expandable filters that will allow user to tailor queries more precisely. Then we will reintroduce the AX support for MDM and DWC. So now the both master domain manager and dynamic workload console will be fully supported on AX 7.2 and 7.3 platform. And then we will strengthen the security standards. So we will add the FIPS 114.3 control. Yeah, aligning with the strict US government security requirements.
If you want, I have a little spoiler if you want. Yesterday, I asked two colleagues to show a preview of the new orchestration model with Prime React. This is a I think this is the first time that it shows. So you can see that it's better for some aspects, like the button. That is,
if you can share, so then we can come back if there are questions.
Sure.
This is yeah.
So the UI is changing. The DWC.
Yes, I lost the change of the share. Sorry.
Yeah. Okay.
This is a really spoiler.
Yes, that's spoiler. This is the old. This is the new. Yeah, you have to fix something because it's a very this is the first time that we started to test, and you can see the look and feel is, in my opinion, better. It's like you can choose the same way that the folder. You can navigate like in the same way or before, and it seems also more faster. So we released it in 1 month because it's end of the July. Yes. So this is the new orchestration monitor. Okay.
Only in DWC 10.2.5. Is that what it was in?
Yes.
Or is it in 10.2.4?
10.2.5.
Yes. At the end of July. Yes.
Sorry, what?
So is the OCLI part of this DWC, is that in 10.2.4 or 10.2.5?
OCLI, already in 10.2.4, right?
It's already out.
Yes, sure. I think also in 10.2.
Yeah, also
But,
there's some announcement.
Yeah, the difference.
From the main menu, just go onto the OCLI part, please.
Okay.
If you just select DWC, how do you get into OCLI?
It's at the command line.
OCLI is the command line.
Command line, yes.
Yeah, but they have OCLI is command line.
Oh, the orchestration query language.
Yeah, the query language.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
So is that,
you can use
no, not the command line.
way
What's
to
DWC?
query in 3 different points. In OCLI, in the OQL filter, Also, if you want to use the Swagger, you can go on the DWSD path or your master. Also, here you can put the same way to search something. For example, here I try to search the calendar that's named CAL02, and here there is the answer. So you can use this way to query on the Swagger, on the QL, and the OCLI. And OCLI, I say before, you can choose the format to export. That could be JSON, YAML, or the previous version that is scatlang.
The
So
teams
you have a different way to manipulate the definition, also the plan, especially with the part of this scat time, for example. You can check the priority. We have a lot of parameters that you can choose to filter. This was for the jobbing plan. This for the job stream. You can choose whenever you want to check and search.
Has anyone tried using OQL, Orchestration Query Language?
They're only 10.1.
Yeah.
I think 10.2.2, I'm not sure, because at the beginning, like the OCLI, you have a very limited object that we had to move from Composer Conmat to the API v2. At the moment, we think we have the most of the object. I think not the whole, but the most. Because you can see here, we have the calendar, for example, engine, job plan, prompt, workstation. We have a lot of objects in the v2.
Yes, there's a combination of things at 10.2 where the query language, you've got the API version 2 where you can use the language.
Correct.
As well as within the DWC. So it's a lot of really complex stuff that you can do, but it's made life a lot easier. And what we're finding is that organizations that are on 10.2, FixPack 3, FixPack 4 are looking at things like integrating with ServiceNow, for example, and then building those queries as REST API calls within ServiceNow, so that when a job fails, people can automatically rerun jobs through ServiceNow rather than even going to the DWC. So they're giving that to help desk or operations staff, and they have no access to IWS whatsoever. It's amazingly complex what you can do with it. But the one thing I will say is that OQL, the documentation is really poor.
Yes, yes, I showed you before. Yes,
that really needs to change.
Take note. I just send a message.
I suggest to try to.
So that page is the only piece of information that's there. So it tells you the structure of what you can do, but then the actual keywords that you can use, the property, none of that's documented.
Wow. Okay.
Yes.
Is there a reason for that?
Pardon?
Is there a reason for that?
Because it's all available within the database. You just have to know where to get it.
Okay.
But what it needs to happen is it needs to come out of the database and actually be properly documented.
Yes.
Okay.
I suggest to create a part that we can document better and probably to provide some real like this filter to try to combine. I think that could be more useful like this because we have the different way and our condition. Because I put before this, so I can check out what I want.
So
sorry.
question. OCLI command line phase 1. Is that available now at 10? Sorry, is that available at 10.1? You say 10.1.5?
I remember when it
Can,
came
can I
out.
download it from a higher version, put it down to my lower version?
It's not, is it?
So,
No, I
if
think
it's
no.
in a
Alessandro,
10.2.4.
CLI is not in 10.1, right?
No, only 10.2 because it's used the day
So
before.
if I downloaded 10.2, can I kind of retrospectively copy it down into my 10.1 zone and it would work because it's just a language, query language, the command line, sorry.
No,
Would that work or it has to be
no,
a 10.2?
Yeah,
So I have to go to 10.2 before this, I can work with this.
with OCLI, yes.
Mm. Okay.
Sorry, we've got a question on the chat, Alessandro, as well. So, Mark, can you unmute yourself if you want to give us the feedback on a graphical designer?
Yeah,
Okay.
so we're talking
Yes.
about the new features for 10.2.4. If you could look at the graphical designer.
Yes.
So I think it's important for us that this must be a new version because there's a wait there, but in our environment, we've got to decide when we're going to roll out something like this new way of working, and we have to preempt what our users are going to think. So even though I know how it works now, if you go back to the blocks page, please, for a second.
Oh, yes.
So the first thing they're going to do is try and, if you can clear the palette, is try and drag a job. Just drag, I know, no, don't do that. So the job box, not the job stream, just
Yes,
drag a
yes.
job. Okay.
Wait a moment. Okay. The only way that, for example, if you want to use a unit
If
job,
you could just, I understand now, but just for the sake of this scenario, so in that blocks tab, if you could just drag the job box onto the palette, please, outside of the job stream.
No, outside is not possible because if
I know
outside
it's not possible, but could you look at, if you could see the warning message that it gives you, just for the sake of this discussion, just drag that job box into the palette, please.
Yes, because there are two ways to do this. Because in this way,
Okay.
when I put this job inside this job stream, I created a new type of job that we named or built-in or embedded job.
I think what you're missing here is from what the statement was about from a user's perspective. So not someone who knows how this new functionality is. What I'm trying to get to is the messages that the console gives you is not intuitive. It doesn't tell you that the job has to go inside an existing job stream. If you know how it works, then it makes sense. We had to go back to the documentation to understand that in the DWC, but from a normal user perspective, the first thing they're going to try and do is drag a job onto the canvas, and they're seeing an error message that doesn't really help them.
Okay.
If that's not getting across, then that's my feedback. And I know two other colleagues did exactly the same thing, and the warning message in pink doesn't tell you what the issue is. It just tells you can't do it. It doesn't explain why you can't do it. So that could be improved. And the second piece is what on the screen that you're looking there with the assets. We have to go, so don't move from now. So we have to go from the old way of working, where if you search on a job or a job stream, it shows you the full list of the job stream, and you can easily identify the jobs and job streams.
Yes.
Now here, everything seems to be truncated, first of all, to the workstation name. So if for example, if I search for, if you search in that box for plan, because we know there's make plan and switch plan, it just in the search box on the left, rather, I'm talking about, under the assets. Under assets on the left side of the screen.
Okay. Yeah? Yes.
Okay. So in the search box, just type plan. The search box at the top under the word assets. Just type the word plan. Yeah. Okay. So this is free form search, which is great. It's brilliant. You just type plan, PLAN.
Yes, I know, because this is
so this is just familiar to people who are in the room.
Yes. Correct.
And then expand that box. Now that doesn't show me which jobs. There's 3 there, but you have to hover over them to see which one's which. Now that is completely different to the old way of working, and there doesn't seem to be a way of expanding this assets box out to see the job name. So the thing I'm actually care about is the job name. I understand that the workstation, I imagine the folder is going to come into this when you're in with job streams. I don't really care about that initially. I need the job name, and that's hidden from me in this layout as it stands now. Does that make sense? It doesn't. Correct. It's not the same way of working. So that's my initial feedback on these 2 things. And speaking with other people who are administrators of AWS, they're exactly the same thing. So the blocks message, where you need to make it clear that jobs need to be dragged into a job stream, the message needs to make that clear and maybe link to the documentation or a tutorial. But secondly, this feedback, this is not an evolution to me. This is a regression when it comes to searching for things. Now, maybe there's a understanding aspect that I need to work with this new console better, but I have to be in front of what my users are going to think. They're going to come back. If you have 100 users asking the same question, that doesn't help me. So if it's an understanding aspect, then I will take that. But right now, that needs to be looked at, I believe.
Yes, I understand, because yes, you are searching for job definition and you see only the workstation, and you have to go on this and
does
see the
that,
tooltip
is that
and check the
compounded
name.
with folders as well? Now, we don't use folders, but I imagine other people do. So it's just trying to preempt the questions from a multitude of users, some who are proficient in DWC and some who just know very little about it. So that the clearer I can be to be able to formulate a response, and the clearer the DWC can be to say, well, you can't drag this job, you have to drag a job into a job stream, helps everyone.
Okay, I take note about this, so I ask to my colleague that develop the DWC. It's a good improvement. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you too. And okay, now we added a different kind of type of job that I named before, that is named embedded. So it's a different way to create the schedule way, because you have this job that exists only in this job stream. So you have no different definition of job, but only one job and one job stream all inside. Like the assets, you can check different kind of objects that are listed here. And I say before, you can put what you need in the job stream or the workstation. You can change the workstation inside here with a drag and drop. You can create in easy way a new workstation or triggers the dependencies. For example, I want to add a simple run cycle that run daily. I can put this. I can add the constraints. Also here, I can create a dependency inside. For this. And this way I create a follows. I think it's an easy way to create a new workload. But understand also it's not good this, because also for me, when I use this, I have a table when I start to search something. When I create, for example, this, if it's a different way to create the object, because also here you go here and I have this. That is different because the workstation is down, and you have the list here. It's different, I know. But from here you can create now, I think, the most of object that we add also the other tree that is the resource, and now remember that the two. Tell me if you want to see someone else on the workload designer, or it's okay. Because I have only this.
There is one question to see.
Yes.
Operation.
Ah, sure. Yes,
Excellent.
an operation, right. Okay, okay. We create a job. We have, let me do submit. So after I can open. Let me close something. I close everything. You can set this flag in operation. So when we go in the monitor workload on orchestration monitor, we can check this job stream. I was said before, Ernesto, if I go in the jobs, here in the cancel ready. From here, I can do two actions. That is remove directly from here the no operation and run the rerun. Otherwise, from here, I can also remove from here directly from the definition. It's a new feature, also this. I don't know if in 10.3 or 4, I think 4. Now this is a refresh, this is running. I think also this is a very helpful to remove directly from the client.
Hello, just a second with the question. You can repeat.
You see the operational text here on this screen?
How it's defined, where it's defined.
Yeah.
Well, the remember the operational field where you put in operation instructions? Where can you see it?
What do you define it in the, is it defined to a job definition or a job when it's in a job stream?
Yes, in the job, you can set if it's with operation or no operation.
No, the operational text, you know, where you put in the
This should not be rerun. This should be rerun at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
That kind of stuff. Yeah.
Operator instructions.
operator instructions.
Okay. You can add in description or in documentation. After this, that is right in the model. When you submit the job stream, you can see in the, I don't know if here you have.
So you can do that at the job level and the job stream level.
Yes, because I go in the jobs and with the more action, I can take the operation instruction that there is a level job stream, job instance that is outside, and then the job definition. But to see this, I have to change job stream. That it's better.
On job definition, was that just the description?
No, description and documentation. Yeah.
Yes, are both. So when I open this, you can check this from job stream in description or documentation. It's on job instance.
So how's that loaded in there?
How's that loaded in
After
CLI?
in job definition, that it's only the first. That if I remember right, it's the first.
So all of that is
Because when I create a database, I have only description. When I put the job inside the job stream, I have description and documentation. That it's the difference between, sorry.
How do you actually get to existing
Yes.
Right. From a text file.
don't know. Look,
You want
Can we ask that
to-
question?
to cut and paste or I'll put text file.
So if you were to create that using Composer,
Mhm.
what would your syntax look like in your?
Yeah, so if you did it through, it's in the database, right?
Yes, it's in the database. I can show you Composer. This JS, if I remember, could be this over. Could be okay. This is the description. That it's the same that.
It's under the description field, not under the documentation field.
Yes, because you can put. I can also show the full. So I can show also the part of the job. That it's this description, version 2, and we have a different level of this documentation, and also here different description. So you can put from DWC or Composer the documentation and operation that you can check here.
So just using comments.
If you did it from the DWC, do you have to do a cut and paste into that field? Can you do is there an upload option?
You upload in that field, you can cut and paste.
For example, this is operator 1. You can check that I put operation 1.
Don't think you can upload. I think
Yeah,
if you were
I
to
think
do
it's
it using
nice.
Composer, you'd have to use a wrapper script in order to do it.
I have only the description that is the first job that I had in Composer. This is the job inside the job stream. This is the job stream. So you have 3 different levels of extraction. This is general for every kind. This is specific for the job in the job stream. Now you can check here. This is the job stream. And then here you can check that operation 2. Operation 2. I think for now I have finished what I had to see. If you want to see or ask other, you can ask. I have to probably this. This is the my test environment that our Ernesto said before. We re-added the AX component for the master and the DWC. This is the new master that we released in the July. I run this in this day. You can see this the new version with a build of about 10 days ago, and it's working. This is the backend master of the master that I'm using now to show the Composer, Conman, otherwise. Also this, you can check it's the latest version. This is 4 days ago the build. So I show you the current product that will be realized in 1 month.
Okay. Before we finish this section, thank you, Alessandro. That was great.
Thank you too. After I reconnect so I can show the second part about the Instana, Jaeger, also Prometheus, Grafana, and the observability tool. I try to explain the way that we use in our environment that could be also helpful for other.
Yes, absolutely. Can we just go back to the roadmap?
Yes, I think that Ernesto could be share again because I have only 1 slide.
Yes. Okay.
Yeah, this is about our also we
Not sharing. Is it? Can everyone see that?
Ale, can you see the roadmap slide?
No, I see only you and the room. Now probably yes.
Yeah, perfect. So we have the roadmap, and for organizations that are at 10.1,
FixPack 6 has just come out, but in terms of the roadmap for 10.1, because its end of support will be sometime in 2027.
Yes.
What's the plan for future FixPacks for 10.1?
I think I spoke this with Paolo. I think last week, probably next year at the beginning, probably we could be released the latest FixPack, but I'm not sure. I have to re-ask to Paolo and the management. I think that FixPack is in plan. I don't know if Ernesto knows something about this.
I don't think they're like new features or what you're asking.
No, not new features, just fixes.
Yeah.
Because 10.1 won't have new features. It'll just have fixes, just like FixPack 6 has. So it's making sure that the CVEs that kind of about between now and Christmas, for example, are catered for, and right up until end of support in 27.
Yes.
Assume they'll continue with fixes if they're necessary.
Yeah. Okay. But there's nothing on the roadmap for that.
A slight concern for us. We've just on the Z side just migrated to 10.1. Now it goes out of support in 2027, but 10.2 goes out of support in 2028.
That is the plan right now.
Yeah, that means we're going to really have to consider 10.3 before we can even go to 10.2. But we don't like jumping that far ahead.
Yeah,
Right. None of that will be firmed up till 10.3 is released, and that's still there's no date for that.
Right. So at the moment, the end of support for 10.2, 2028 is just a planning thing in terms of it could well be extended. Yeah.
Yeah, the idea is to have the minimal support for 3 years, but of course we guarantee at least 1 year more compared to the previous release, even if there are 3 years at least. Yeah.
Just plan, and the reason part of it is just the way IBM is forcing product updates across all their products, not just AWS.
Yeah.
So we're going to fall into plan with what they're telling us to do.
I mean, we are streamlining the way we do upgrades and the length of time it takes us. It used to take us 18 months to do the size of our estate. Reduce that down to 12, and we tend to reduce that even further, but we're going to have to get a bit more wise about doing this, especially with going to the 3-year cycle.
Stepped out, but that is the tentative plan. It'll probably be extended.
Yeah.
So, and there's been no date for 10.3, right? That's been pushed back. I thought it had.
And then just to answer that comment, we're similar. It took us about a year. I know you guys are a lot bigger than us, yeah. And it does take annually, probably about 12 months for my site to go to upgrade to a version. I'm literally gone at 10.1.5. I got my last, just happens to be my production master, the squeaky one here, in the next couple of weeks' time. What the bigger question is sometimes, if I go to 10.2 or to 10.3 or to 10.4, it doesn't matter really, is how is the platform, is its stability, its functionality, it's how stable is that software point at that point, because the heartache is you upgrade the latest and greatest version of AWS and you find a raft of problems. You have to fix them forward here while you're there, and that might take you 6 months. It's not just about getting the plan date in. It's actually you've installed it, but it comes with bugs, and you've got to figure out the bugs. Yeah, and that's what you should take back to your IBM people. Say these people are finding it's bug ridden sometimes. Some of these releases that you give us, and that's not fair to say it's aggressive for 2 years or 3 years or 4 years. Well, it should be. If we put a new install in, it should be bug free, and it should work exactly like the last one did, except for fewer customers. So I'm always I've been saying this in this room for the last 10 years. Say, can we have a stable software that we can use and run straight from the box?
Yeah. So Nolan is back in the room after lunch. So
I will have him there.
Let's So I'll make him stand at the front. So you will have your chance to tell him. So and let's take it offline till then. But yeah, here. Okay, there was another question online as well, wasn't there? From Sunil.
We went in time, right?
Yeah, we're on time. We're fine.
How is the operator instructions of job instance and job definition different? And if we were talking
Yes.
about that,
Operator instructions are different.
Yeah, job instance versus job definition.
Yes, because the first is the job in database alone. The second is the job into the job stream that it's into the job stream. So it's a difference. So you have the job stream, job definition, and job.
hi Sunil, I don't know if you're there. You had the question. Do you want to
Yes.
come off mute?
Yes, I'm here. So yeah, I do understand the difference between job definition and the instance. So only question that I want to understand is where would the operator instruction for job instance be specified?
No, sorry, I lost the latest two words because I understand the job definition and job. Can you repeat?
So you were showcasing the new operator instructions in the new in the new 10.2 release, and so I'm just trying to understand, how are those two different? Like where would we specify the operator instructions for the job instance?
Let me show because it's a new feature that this came from a customer request because the fields are too short, and from the Ilaria know that it's possible to have a very big operator instruction, and we decided to add this also in distributed environment. So it's a new feature because before you have only a very short description that about one line. And now you can add what you want. It's the difference to the previous. So you can use this how you prefer.
Right. So what I'm trying to understand is where do we specify the job instance instructions? Are those in the job definition itself?
Yes, because you can add from here. That's I will show. When you create a single job, you have only the description. That is for every job. When you add in the job stream, you can add also the documentation. This field before never exists, doesn't exist before. You have only the description. Now you can use also the documentation from here and from job stream part in the database, in the model part to understand.
Right. I get that part, but I'm still not clear. What is the difference between what you are showing on the orchestration monitor? How is the instructions for instance and definition different? Because each definition will become an instance when it loads the plan.
Okay, I now understand. I have to ask also the UX design why decide to difference from this and this. Now I understand what you mean. I don't know. I know. I'm honest. I don't know.
Because this is actually confusing for an end user.
Okay.
So which one to follow? The instance or the instance instruction or the definition instructions?
Okay, I think that the second, because the first is in general, and probably it's only the description that probably it's who added, and in the definition you can check what are you doing to solve the issue if it's in a band, like for example this. Sorry.
I think this needs to be cleared up
Yes.
before it goes live in the system.
Yes, I understand, because you asked me why I have this and this. This,
I think
in my opinion,
what's
the
really trying to get is
the general description.
we've been dangerous at just focusing what it means to us as administrators and what we get out of it, and still trying to say, what does his users get out of it? What does the application team value add to them? They want to go into the GUI, they want to go down to their job, they want to have clear, concise understanding of what we've put in there in terms of data. When you've got, I look at it, and I don't get involved in this much these days, but I look at it and go, I've got a job instance now, great, I can put what I like in. I don't need a documentation. I just need a field where I can put stuff, and that educates the user or educates the administrator on what we're supposed to do with it. So we've kind of, it feels a little bit like we're trying to be a little bit cleverer, but we haven't thought about what the user experience might be if you're a non-administrator and you're just wanting to drill into the front end and get the information you want. I think that's probably what we're trying to get to a little bit here.
It'd also be good on the main menu if you had a flag to say if it had operator instructions on it.
Yeah.
There's no point looking at 10,000 jobs and only one has got the operator instructions on. Yeah. So if you had on the main page a little flag to say this has got ops instructions, OI, little flag to say you can go in and read it. Yeah.
Okay, this is a good point, because if you can want to write operator instruction for every job, you can flag this, so you know that it could be open and check if there are instruction, right?
Yes.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yes.
So on that screen right there, I don't know if that's got operator instructions or not. It would be great. There's a little flag there to say, oh, it's got OI on it.
Yes, because if I, for example, have a flag here, I know probably I can solve. If there is no flag, probably this happens.
Yeah, but the dynamic link to it would be even better. Yeah.
Yes. Could be,
When I'm looking at what my teams can do to improve the landscape within IWS and how the documentation is being made, who owns that documentation. At the moment, I've got a database of information over here in a completely different tool which we go to get that knowledge article. If I was going to use this, I would actually love to be able to use this. I'd love to be able to build the process so that the application owner of that said job gives me a document, I can just import it straight into IWS. That's it. It's there. It's there for perpetuity. We can police it maybe in a different way. Like it has to be a way it has to be clean, clear, very easy to upload into. You can see the composer piece there. Still feels like I want to be able to give my users the ability. I want the application team to be able to say, I've updated the document and I put it in there. I don't want the administrators to spend half their life becoming knowledge managers for the batch schedule. I want the owner of that batch to be the owner of the knowledge article, because ultimately they're the ones that tell us what we do with it and how it's consumed by our operators. It does feel like it's a great addition. I'm glad it's there. Operationally, how I implement it, if I'm not giving that ownership back to the application owners, I'll start calling Nigel the librarian, because that's basically what he spent his life doing, updating knowledge. It's positive, but I think application might take a while to be taken on board.
Need some enhancements.
Yeah.
Okay.
okay.
You done?
Yep.
Perfect.
We have no more slide.
Thank you very much. That was really good.